What's up guys, JTMoffroad here. Today I'm going to be working on a brake leak. Where we're at in western Pennsylvania, we get a lot of salt on the roads and whatnot. And I normally don't drive the Jeep just because I don't want to have to deal with patching the frame any more than I already am, because it seems to be a yearly occurrence. Lately we've had a lot of rain and it seemed to wash a lot of the salt off the roads. So I haven't driven the Jeep for a couple months, so I was driving it around to work and everything, and the second day into driving it, I come home, get the mail, and my truck's parked outside, and I look down. I've noticed lately that the brakes have been feeling a little spongy. Not necessarily spongy, but when I'm at a stoplight or stop somewhere, press down on the brake, and I notice myself, like, after a little while, start creeping just like a little bit forward. And so I kind of had a feeling maybe there's some sort of brake leak, but I never really thought too much into it, and thought about looking at it. Should have just looked at the reservoir. But anyway, going to get the mail, and I come back and I look at the one tire. I noticed it's pretty wet looking. Obviously there's a brake leak, so I go up and I check the brake reservoir, and it's really low. So during the week I felt really no pressure to get on that. I've just been driving the Jeep. So now it's the weekend, now we're gonna look at it. I got down underneath and I was looking at it a little bit. I can't really tell from the angle that I was at, so we'll go ahead, jack up the truck, take the wheel off, look at the caliper, see what's wrong, because it is right at the caliper. The caliper is actually wet. Jack the truck up, see if we can't get this fixed today. Don't know exactly where the leak's coming from. I see some fluid towards the bottom of the caliper. I'm gonna grab some brake fluid, pour it in, try to pump the brakes a few times, see if we get any stuff coming out. Just got the camera set up down there. Go ahead and jump in the... Oh! Cold leather. There we go. That's what I was looking for. At least we know that it's actually leaking. Go ahead and take the caliper off and see if we can actually see where it's coming out of the caliper. Yeah, I mean, compared the bottom to the top, top's definitely dry, bottom's all wet. They make rebuild kits for these and stuff, but I don't know much about that, and I don't know if I really want to get into that today. Pads are looking thin. I'm going to check the other side and see how they're doing. I'm going to just tie this caliper up so it doesn't fall, and then hit the other side and see how that one looks. So passenger rear tire's off. Pads are a little thin, and it's not focusing great, but you can see there's a little lip on the disc where it's grooving in. I'll get some pads and rotors all together, just change them all out all together. I just made it back getting the caliper, pads, and rotors. Took the Jeep out. It's starting to snow a little bit. Definitely think it's time to get fenders that cover the tires. It's not too bad, but the tires throw up so much crap Yeah, I don't go out in the snow that much, so it's not that big a deal. Whenever it does rain and stuff, shoots up a lot of particles, grossness onto the Jeep. Got everything, got the calipers, got the rotors, got the brake pads. These brake jobs never seem to be something that go as planned. I think it's gonna be like this. I thought it was gonna be like 60 bucks. Get a caliper. Well, pads need changed, and so do the rotors. So, cha-ching! Well, I got the rotor off, and it took a little convincing with a hammer, but doesn't look like the e-brake is in best shape. That came off. It was supposed to be there. Now, I don't know too much about e-brakes. I would assume that probably need to replace mine. I gotta do some looking up, see exactly what I need to do. My e-brake hasn't been working the best lately, so this is probably a good indication of why. But this is all wet and gross. So yeah, actually that one's gone. So I should probably take care of that problem before I put the new rotor on. So I'll at least get over to the other side and see what that side looks like for now. We'll go from there. Well, at least this rotor came off better. Doesn't look like we have any pad at all right here. Still some here. So I don't know how well this whole thing's gonna go. Alright guys, day 2 of the Avalanche brakes. Started out being a caliper replacement, which turned into pads and rotors, which turned into parking brake replacement. I'd about had it yesterday, only got a few hours work on it. And right now it's already like 4:30 in the afternoon. I've never done anything with parking brakes before. I watched a video online last night. Seems pretty straightforward. Another thing, normally when I bleed brakes, I usually have another person here. That's not always the case, so I figure I'd probably try out the vacuum bleeder. So I went to Harbor Freight, got the Mighty Vac. I've heard good things about it. I watched some videos on it. I want to give that a shot. Hopefully it's the best thing ever. We'll break into it and get started, and hopefully everything goes well. What are the chances of that rusty crap bolt coming out? Parking brake shoes off. There's the bracket. What's left of it. There's the bolt head. That little white dot's where the bolt is. So, unless I can figure out something else to do, probably gonna have to take these axle shafts out so I can get a drill in there and drill that out. Can't think of any other way to get that in there unless maybe I just clean that up, and where that hole is, instead of a bolt, I could weld it. That would be a huge pain in the buns when I have to go do that again. So maybe I won't do that. For now, I'm going to try to take apart the rest of this brake. Try to take this off so it's all ready for the new hardware. After that, as long as that goes okay, I'm gonna jump to the other side, try to take that shoe off. It's wobbling around, so I don't even know if that mounting bracket's still there, but I have a feeling the bolt's gonna be just as crappy to get out. So I might have to do both sides. I don't know. We'll get into it and find out. Alrighty guys, I hope this is the turning point in the video. I've had luck welding nuts on broken bolts before. This is kind of recessed a little bit. Normally it's broken further outside. I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll see what happens. The plan is to get it right about on top of where that needs to be. Try to angle that that wire inside there. That's pretty close. There's not a whole lot of room in there, and I'm terrible at welding. But I have it, and it's an option. I'm gonna try it out. Let's hope it works. One, two, three, four, five. There might even be some more laying around here. Oh, yeah, there's another one. 6. It took me 6 tries to weld a nut on there to actually get it out. That's the one I was able to do. I love having a welder. I am by no means good at it. I can make something stick to another thing. I would really love to take classes sometime and get a better welder. And the whole bolt extraction thing, anytime I break a bolt, I go to that now and I try to use that. Now, I didn't really do good at videoing that, but all I did was where there's a little bit of a recess, I just try to get my wire really close, weld onto that, and then slowly build out, making sure not to hit the area around it. So I just like weld the whole thing shut. Once I get enough outside, I'll put a nut on that, and once that's on there, then I weld and then slowly try to turn. And I think a combination between that and all the heat really goes through and heats that all up to break it free. But I'm glad that's done. This is starting to become a long video. This was supposed to be a caliper change. This was really supposed to take not long at all, couple hours max. So that's done. So I can start cleaning everything up. That one e-brake, I don't know what you call it, where you put the adjuster in. That's really grody. So I'm gonna sand that out a little bit. Assemble those, put a bunch of grease in them, put the parking brake shoes on with the mounting brackets. Once you get that on, then I can put my rotors on, then I can put my pads in the caliper, then I can bleed the brakes, then I can hopefully be done with this whole thing. That was the peak of everything to go wrong. So nothing's allowed to go wrong now. And day 3 of this stupid project. My level of frustration is very high right now. On my truck, there's only one backing plate. They call it a backing plate. It's not a dust shield, it's a backing plate. This number 10 back plate. If there's only one type of back plate on the vehicle, these adjuster brackets, what do they call them? I don't know. Adjustment pawl, which are these. If this is supposed to fit on a backing plate and it's the same backing plate, then why would you have mirrored clips? The same backing plate. So I called a GM dealer. I talked to parts and service. They said they don't sell a left and a right. So like a caliper has a left and a right caliper. This backing plate, there's not a left and a right, it's one. So on the one side, the parking brake cable comes in high, the other side it comes in low. It's the same one. So the parking brake kit, the hardware kit, comes with mirrored. That's wrong. Like, it needs to come with the same exact one. So I went to Advanced. Luckily, I talked, after I talked to the GM dealer and told them, confirmed there's only one backing plate, the kid was cool enough to return the one kit as defective, let me keep the one bracket, and then give me the new kit. So now this will actually work. So, and I called one of my other buddies who works for a GM dealer in parts and service, and he confirmed that too. So, if you're watching this and you know of anything different, or you've had the same problem. I had to go through so much hassle, and if somebody didn't know this, you know, they're either installing this wrong, or they're gonna have to buy 2 separate kits, and it's like they're $20 kits, and you don't want to have to buy a second one just to get a stupid little bracket. I think I'm right. I've been confirmed twice that I'm right, but you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not doing something right. But everything that I'm seeing is leading me to that I'm right. You know, and maybe it was just wrong from the manufacturer. You know, maybe they just accidentally put the wrong clip in. But I just want to find out. It's bugging me, so I just want to know if I'm right or not. That's pretty much what it comes down to now. I just want to know if I'm right. I just want to get this back together. So I'm gonna get back to work, put everything back together, just be done. Alrighty, no truck behind me right now, so I am done. That was a project that took way too long. Yeah, it's been quite a project, just some stupid brakes. You can see all the crap I've had out, and I've had some stuff put away. It's always a fun time here in the JTM Off-Road Garage. If there's anything that you see, being a Chevy truck owner that, you know, threw up some flags or something with the parking brake and all that, let me know. Drop me some comments. Like this if you liked it. If you didn't, give me a dislike, tell me why. And I think that's it. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Be sure to like it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming projects and wheeling trips. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook to catch posts of videos in the making. See you next time.